And talking of canyon bikes, do you like this picture of me and my canyon bike?
It's, yeah, I mean, I'm amazed it's your phone background screen.
Hey everyone, we're here with Alex Dowsett and Alpecin today, and we're going to ask our very own Essex man a few questions. So well done on just doing the Giro. It was your first Grand Tour since the Tour in 2015. Question is, which one's harder and why, Giro or Tour?
Probably the Tour. It's the Wimbledon of cycling. Everyone turns up on their absolute A game. It's the stress of the Tour, more than anything else, and the speed.
And so on that note, who has better coffee, the Italians or the French?
Oh, the French. No, the Italians, sorry. The Italians every day of the week. The Italians do good pasta and terrible bread. The French do great bread and terrible pasta.
So obviously let's cut to the chase. What haircut are you going to go for today then, and what's your go-to?
My mum's normally my hairdresser, so it's always her decision. So I think today just tidying this up, because we had a whole Giro's worth of growth.
According to one of your daily Dowsett digests during the Giro, on the Zoncolan you had a few people lie to you saying there was going to be Nando's at the top. Question is, would you ride for a Nando's cycling team if there was one?
I think it would be very good to ride for him, you know.
So going up the Zonk, you're obviously being a bit of a TT lad. Yeah. You're not exactly as sprightly as the likes of Froome and Yates.
Thanks for pointing that out.
No worries. What kind of gearing were you using to try and get up to that?
We had I think we all opted for basically the smallest, easiest possible gear we had. But unfortunately you had to forego the power meter to take a compact like that. So just, not having the data for the Zoncolan was a little bit disappointing, but you'd take getting up it in one piece.
I was going to say, does that make your ride harder then by not being able to?
No, not really. You think it does, and then at the end of the day, I end up during the race, I don't actually look at the numbers much. I love looking at them afterwards, but to be honest, I have the map in front of me more, the map and the profile, just to see what's coming up.
And when going up climbs like the Zonk, do you ever feel that you're kind of like having to draw from deep in? Do you ever sing like jingles in your head to keep you going, or?
Nah, not. Again, it comes down to, and it goes back to what I was saying about the Tour de France versus the Giro. It's like some of the hardest days of the Giro weren't on paper like what you'd consider to be the hardest days. Like the day after the second rest day, it was 160k, just full tilt. Never went up anything really big climbing-wise, but it was quite twisty, quite lumpy, sprinting out of every corner, just on the rivet the whole time. So that, again, it's the way. It's like anything. I've got a 3-minute climb near me. It's the biggest climb in Essex. The thing's 3 minutes long, but it's as hard as you make it. I can ride up it easy if I want. I can ride up it flat out, so it'll really hurt. And that's the same with the Grand Tours or any races. It depends how hard you're racing it. The Col de Finestre was grim, but I hadn't quite eaten enough that day, so that made it extra grim. But then because that was thrown in the middle of the stage, you knew that. Knew I was going to get dropped there. Knew then you had a fight for time cut, just to make sure you're comfortably in it. You didn't want to be panicking on the last climb, which was good. But it was, I'd say the Finestre was the hardest, like the furthest I had to dig in the whole race, because it was, I was got a little bit hunger flat and had to kind of fight. I didn't recognise it was that until like the next day when I was feeling the same, and then nailed 3 gels in quick succession and then came round pretty quick. So I was like, that's why I was struggling yesterday. So days like that, that's the day I had to dig the deepest, I think.
So what do you do when you dig that deep? Do you have like a system that you kind of like tell yourself to keep calm, or?
You're just telling yourself that it is going to be over. It is going to be, like, you're going to get through it, it's going to be fine. And the disappointment of failing will be far greater than the momentary of suffering that you're feeling at the time. And at the end of the day, it's like 4 hours more racing. It's 4 hours of your life. It's, you know, people spend that on a PlayStation. It's not. It's just 4 hours, even though it's at the time you're in a whole world of hurt. It's time. It ends. There's a finish line. The quicker you go, the quicker it's all going to be over. Whereas if you give in, if you fail, if you mentally cave, then you have to live with that. And I've caved before, I've failed, I've given up, and it's pretty horrible. That sticks with you.
And so obviously you ride for Katusha-Alpecin, who are known for having canyons. How much do you love your canyon bike?
I've been on canyon for 4 years now. They're great. Yeah, for me, what they did for me for the hour record was unreal. My hour record bike still sits in my house, and it's like a work of art.
Do you ever ride it anymore, or is it just on the wall?
No. Tyres are flat. Just it sits upstairs. It's an ornament that I'll keep for the rest of my life.
And talking of canyon bikes, do you like this picture of me and my canyon bike?
It's, yeah, I mean, I'm amazed it's your phone background screen.
Well, someone's got to love me. So obviously, having just joined Katusha, have you made any new friends? Who's your favourite cycling friend at Katusha?
Who's my favourite cycling friend at Katusha? I roomed with Tony for the whole Giro, so we got to know each other very well. It was quite interesting actually, because on the last night we all went out we all had like team dinner together, and some of the girlfriends, and my girlfriend, Mads Wirth-Schmidt's girlfriend, was there. Clear difference between guys and girls is we'd spent 3 weeks together, over 3 weeks together. I found out on that last hour of being with the Giro team that Slava was married. It's just like, it's not questions that guys ask each other, and in the space of 10 minutes, I felt like the girlfriends had found out more about the guys I'd spent a month with than we'd found out in that entirety of that month.
Cool. And so talking about riders in the peloton, who do you think's the best rider in the world at the moment?
I mean, all-rounder, you'd say Sagan, because he beats the sprinters at sprinting. He sometimes beats the climbers at climbing. He beats the classics guys in the classics. Good thing is he can't beat the time trialist at time trialing. So
you're safe for the time.
I'm safe, yeah. Grand Tours, it's Froome. Sprinting, it's, I think, Marcel. Although I'm sure there's a few other guys that would have something to say about that.
You're not being biased at all.
Well, no, but I think when they're all at the Tour, they're all fully fit. You saw last year, Marcel would just pull out from 10, 15 wheels back, and he'd just have the speed on everyone. Like, they've all got their own assets, but I think when it comes to raw speed in the finish, you can see he's got that.
When you look back on your career, what's the thing that you want to say, I did this, or I completed that?
It's more about saying I got everything out of this rig that I could have done. It's funny, you see all of these, you see on social media is terrible for it nowadays, where they say you can be anything you want, you just have to want it. It's an absolute lie. Everyone's got a talent, you just have to recognise it. So it's why when I was young I tried a lot of different sports to find out what I was good at. So going back to your question, at the end of my career I want to know that I know I've recognised the talent, I'm working on it, but I want to be happy that I got everything out of it I possibly could. And I want the hour record.
Yeah. I was going to say, so are we going to be seeing you in the track anytime soon then, or?
I hope so. It's the hour record, for me personally, I want to go again. I want to throw a bit more caution to the wind, like Wiggins did. And Canyon have to build a bike, because at the moment, they don't make track bikes, or certainly not hour record bikes, and it has to be a pretty bloody special one. So, but yeah, it's on. Yeah, I think it's on my radar. Hopefully it's on the team's radar as well. The goal for me from the moment I spoke with Jose last year, Acevedo that was, was always about the Giro, and we got there and did a good job. So look ahead to what's next.
So is it a case of you scratch his back, he'll scratch yours in terms of?
No, I think it's, there's always, the team decides the rider's programme based on the rider's strengths and where you can fit into a team. We might say, look, Alex, we need you to help Marcel for the rest of the year, or help Zakarin, or focus on the world individual time trial champs or the team time trial champs, because you look at Katusha's potential in the team time trial and it's huge. You only needed to look at our results in the Giro. Both time trials we put 4 in the top 15, which is testament to the strength of the time trialist in the team. It's also testament to the equipment and the skin suits and everything we use to be, all of us, to be that solid in both of 2 very different TTs. So, at some point we'll have a sit down, I guess, and work out what the plan is.
Cool. And so will we be seeing you at the Tour?
I've put my name up and said I'd love to be a part of it. The selection for Tour will be difficult. I hope so. But it's. I'd also say, if there's someone else that can do my job, but do it better, and it's a choice between me and him, I'd say to the team, take them, because I will want Marcel to win sprint stages. So whoever's best to do that job, and of course with Zakarin for a GC, so whoever's best to do that job, that's the priority.
You're, for us in our eyes, a certified baller, so we thought we'd present you with your very own.
Thank you very much. I won't put this on now. Well, thank you.
Bit tricky, but
yes,
anyway, that was.
Thank you very much.
But yes, anyway, that was what we want to show you.